Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Masintle Chauke, and on today's video, we are going to be talking about what happens when you give your pain to God. So before we waste any more time, let's get to it. I would like us to read from the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 12. It says, "But the more Egyptians oppressed them, the more the Israelites multiplied and spread, and the more alarmed the Egyptians became." So the Israelites, which was the family of Jacob, it had multiplied and it had become more powerful. And the Bible says that Pharaoh got alarmed and he got scared that this nation is going to overpower us. And they decided that no, let's make them into slaves so that they cannot be able to win over us in a time of war. I want to tell you that some of the battles or some of the oppressions that you're facing are not because you are dumb. They are not because you are broke. They are not because you are anything bad. But some of the pressures or the oppressions that you are facing are because you are growing. It might not feel good. It might not feel like God is on your side. But sometimes one of the ways to check whether you are progressing in life, one of the ways to check whether you are growing, one of the ways to check whether you are multiplying, it's when people begin to try and oppress you. It's when people try to put you down. It's when people now start talking about you. Because sometimes when no one says anything about you, maybe it's because you're not doing anything. But when people now have stuff to gossip and say about you, it's because you are multiplying. The Bible says that the more they multiplied, the more they grew, the more they oppressed them. So I have an encouraging word for you today. If you give your pain to God, He is going to use it and turn it for good. He is going to use it and turn it into a testimony. I want to tell you a story of a prophet called Elijah. The Bible says that prophet Elijah called the king and said, King Ahab, said, Ahab, come with all your 400 false prophets, and I will come with my God and stand alone. And the Bible says that he said that let your prophets, let us make a fire. If my God is a true God, then the fire is going to burn the sacrifice. To the prophet of Baal, there was just dry wood. There was no water. But Elijah said, when it comes to my sacrifice, when it comes to my God, add water. And the Bible says that when they added the water, the fire came and burned everything, even the things around. So I want to tell you that sometimes when situations come in your life and people come to try and oppress you, people come to try and put you down, when you take that pain, when you take that disappointment, whatever that you're going through, and you surrender it to God as a sacrifice, to say, God, I might be going through this, but I'm going to worship you. God, I might be disappointed, but I'm going to love you. When you take that pain and surrender it to God, He brings His fire, He brings His glory, and He brings His faithfulness. I want to tell you something today. Allow God to multiply and use that pain to show forth His glory. Just as the water was nothing but a catalyst to show the greatness of God, the greater or the darker the situation, the bigger will be the manifestation of the glory of God in your life. So the more they talk, the more they try to bring you down, the more they try to discourage you, this is nothing but water, and God's glory and God's faithfulness will be even more evident in your life. Let me tell you lastly of what happens when you surrender that pain that you have to God. God uses pain as manure for growth and multiplication. Sometimes it's hard to grow when you're comfortable. Sometimes it's hard to grow when things are going well in your life. But a little bit of pressure, a little bit of pain, and I'm not saying that God is the one who is bringing these things in your life, but sometimes God allows them to happen so that we can be propelled to grow in our lives. So the Bible says that those that wait upon the Lord, He shall renew their strength. The Bible says they will mount up with wings like eagles, and they will run and not be weary. Scientific knowledge says that when the wind pushes the wings of the eagle, it flies higher. And if there's one thing you should know about an eagle again, is that an eagle flies highest amongst many birds. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you, sometimes God, when you allow Him to carry your pain, He uses the pain as the wind to blow you higher. Sometimes we can be so blessed and we can be so happy and content that we forget that we have the ability to fly higher than where we are. We forget that we have the ability and we have been called for greater things. We have greater authority. We have greater dreams to achieve. And sometimes God allows the storms, He allows the winds to push us higher, above our weaknesses, above what people have said about us. So allow the wind to push you. Allow the wind to bring the glory of God upon your life. I want to say something to you today. Stop hating on the pain, because it's what God is going to use to bring His glory over your life. It's what God is going to use to bring His faithfulness over your life. So yes guys, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do share, subscribe, and like if you really like my content. Thank you guys. See you on the next video. Bye.